don't want to go. Oh my God, the whole thing just fell apart. Look at this. Holy shit.
Take a look at this terminal block of this disconnect panel. This is crazy. This is crazy. Wow. Absolutely insane. So we did have some kind of amperage issue with one line of power here. And I wonder if that's contributed to our possibly defective condenser fan motor and or the capacitor. You know what? Let's go take a look at the capacitor before we give the customer a final diagnosis. We want to have the full picture before we present them with options on repair and or replacement.
It's me, Mikey Pipes. Oh, feels so good to be back. Today is Monday, Labor Day, September 4th, 2023. Wow, where has the time gone? It's September. But have no fear, just because it's September does not mean the cooling season is over. Even today, Labor Day, it is 9:10 in the morning. It is 78 degrees and humid here in the great state of New York. We're heading to a service call, an air conditioning service call, one of the zones of this mini Taj Mahal, this mini McMansion. It's got no cooling. Let's go see what's going on. And on the way there, I'll tell you about my trip to Sicily and Italy. All right, in case this is your first time watching the channel, or maybe you haven't watched in a while, the last 2 weeks, me and the pipe nurse, my wonderful and loving wife, we went for 2 weeks to Sicily, where we visited Palermo, Catania, Taormina, Syracuse, Noto, a few other places, a few others, you know. It was a nice trip. And we ended with 5 days in Rome, where we went to a family friend, a very close friend who I consider my brother. His son got married in Rome. So we ended the great 2-week vacation time off with a magnificent, magnificent wedding in Rome. Wow, it was amazing. The chuppah, or the actual wedding ceremony, was literally on a hill, and we were shadowing over the Vatican City, and all of Rome. It was very nice, very, 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 very nice. Very nice. They pulled off the impossible. 350 guests, all mostly from New York. It was really, really nice. Very, very nice. And I'm happy to be back and continuing my philosophy of leading by example. Today is Monday, which is Labor Day. It's a federal holiday here in the United States, where I lead by example, which means that I'm not going to expect my guys to go out on a holiday, you know, if I'm not going to go out myself. And typically on those holidays, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, I typically run those service calls myself. I'm typically home on those holidays. And listen, I like to lead by example. You know, don't do as I say, do as I do. And I've built a great team, and we're still growing. Looking for an administrative assistant, someone to help in the office, answering calls, dispatching, customer service, things like that. And I'm also looking for one more HVAC tech. Peter hasn't really stepped up to the plate all summer long. Yes, he's learning, but he's not taking an initiative. So I just got to keep it real, you know. I need a body in a truck. I have an extra truck. You know, we thought we could fill it with Frankie. That didn't really work out too well. But I need another team member, a family member in the truck. So if you're in the New York metropolitan area, near our new base in Woodmere, reach out to me at mike@pipedoc.net, and let's have a conversation. All right, I'm just a few minutes down in Hewlett Harbor for my service call. Let's go see what's going on. All right, let's go see. Here's one. There's two. And there's three. This is the one we replaced that condenser fan motor on about a year ago. So here's this one. There it is. You see, I don't even need to put a $100 bill here. Don't even need to do that. Because she ain't spinning. She's a, oh, look at that. Slow and steady wins the race. All right, so that one looks like, is it this whip? Yep, it's that whip. So, oh, it's even more second floor. So I am going to put my left hand behind my back, and I'm going to pull this out with my right hand. Oh. She don't want to go. Oh my God, the whole thing just fell apart. Look at this. Holy shit. Wow. That is crazy. Look at that. It's all melted. It's all melted. Wow. No, the other zone. Wow. Okay, let's safely. Okay, that's off. We got to get my tool bag, and we got to take a closer look at what's going on here, because L1 is melted to the, well, I'm gonna be a little ballsy here. Look at that. That is nuts. That's nuts, ladies and gentlemen. See that? That is absolutely ridiculous. Oh, man. All right, so it appears that we're going to have some kind of condenser fan motor, electrical issue, possibly with the condenser fan motor and or the capacitor. And of course, if you replace the condenser fan motor, the capacitor always gets replaced. And here, we're going to need a new disconnect. Curious as to why that's happening, and once we safely get the power off here, we'll take a closer look. But you know what? As they say in Italy, it's okay. I got the new one. It's okay. And it's always okay. Right. For easy identification purposes, I got my Fluke non-contact electrical tester right there on my incoming L1, L2. I can audibly hear that. Hopefully to audibly hear it by the panel right here in the garage. Let's try that one. All right, so here's my incoming power. There's one, there's two. All right, let me just get my voltmeter out and let's double check. Wow. Wow. All right, sorry for the noise. The fan is on for the condenser. Before I even get started, I'm going to make sure that my leads are functional and correct. I'm going to set it to continuity. And continuity, want to audibly hear a connection there. Let's set that to volts AC. And I have one of my alligator clips hooked up to one of the lines. Do to the other one right there. Okay. So there's 1, 2. I have nothing there. 0.2 volts. And let's check to ground. Nothing there. Let's flip this to the other side, and we'll check that. I have another lead on the other side, and then to ground right there, reading the same 0.2 volts. So now it's safe to proceed. I've safely confirmed we have no power. Let's take a closer look at this. My God, what happened? Take a look at this terminal block of this disconnect panel. This is crazy. This is crazy. Wow. Absolutely insane. So we did have some kind of amperage issue with one line of power here. And I wonder if that's contributed to our possibly defective condenser fan motor and or the capacitor. You know what? Let's go take a look at the capacitor before we give the customer a final diagnosis. We want to have the full picture
before we present them with options on repair and or replacement. You think I can do it, guys? Look at that. Almost nailed it. Let's take a look at our electrical compartment. Don't be intimidated, guys, by what's going on in here if you're new to this. Real quick, for identification purposes, this right here is our hard start. Apparently this compressor in its history had a problem starting, so that someone added a hard start. That may be a contributing factor to this power issue that we're having out here with the disconnect panel. This is our dual capacitor. There's a lot of wires on top of it. Don't worry about it. And there's our contactor right there. Take a look at our coil real quick. She appears to be okay, but you know what they say, if you ain't testing, you're guessing. I'm sure there's a problem with that coil not being clean. I can almost guarantee it's not, because every time we acid wash the coil, clean the coil, it's always dirty. Just keeping it real. All right, let me take off this strap, this band holding this dual capacitor. Let's test the dual capacitor. Well, I can tell you she's not swollen, but she's definitely a rust bucket. She's definitely a rust bucket. You want a diagnosis, or you just want to be sodomized with or without lube?
It's perfect. Put it back.
Okay, no problem. It's okay.
What the fuck, man? Why would something like that happen, Mike?
Well, great question. Whole rundown with possible reasons as to why this issue occurred. Gave him a price to make these repairs, which is, this is not going to end well for the Stucco. Let me tell you something. Who do you think's going to win? Stucco or Mikey Pipes? Let's keep it real. You know the Stucco's not going to win today. You know that for a fact. So I gave him a price to replace the disconnect, which is mounted around the Stucco, and the dual capacitor, with a disclaimer. Hey, listen, we may need to replace a condenser fan motor. We may have a over amperage, maybe something with the hard start for the compressor. But something caused that, and usually it's not being tight enough there. But I gotta tell you, it looks like I got great contact. Looks like I do, but let's get the job done. All right, change of plan. I had already removed the base, the disconnect panel chassis or the cabinet of it, and I realized that, you know what, maybe I don't gotta leave it like a complete, I don't know, it is. This is a perfect testimonial as to why, when you're redoing your house with stucco and things like that, or siding, make sure you remove the disconnects. Because now look at this. This is just retarded. I'm sorry. I know I need to be politically correct, but this is just dumb. This is unprofessional. And listen, if you're in the contracting business doing, exterior work, facade work on a home, factor it into the price of the job, removing the disconnects and other components. Don't just stucco around it, because this is dumb. And what I'm going to have to do now is, right, I was going to take that off and put this there, but it looks kind of dumb. I'm going to actually create a knockout here on the side of this disconnect box, which has a non-amperage protected breaker switch, right? And I am going to make this work. That's the goal, at least. I may have a problem. Nah, we should be all right. But this is dumb. And I don't stock this type. And I know, Mikey Pipes, you can get one. But guess what? It's a holiday weekend. It's an emergency service call. I need to replace this. And I need to get it up and running permanently. I guess I can come back with the right side, with the direct replacement. But why spend the money, Let's see if I can make this work. We'll talk about how I mounted that in a minute. But I improvised. I adapted. I overcame. Let's now focus on the dual capacitor, and let's talk about why this should not be so confusing for you. Typically with dual capacitors, here's a replacement. We're normally going to see one terminal for fan, like you see there right now on the right side of the screen, fan. We're going to have 4 on common, and we normally have 3 for Herm. Okay, keep that in mind. So we have 1 or 2 usually for fan, 4 for common, and then we only have 3 for Herm. So there's our Herm side. We have a red wire and we have a black wire. The red wire is going to our compressor, and the black wire is going to our hard start relay.
We have two terminals, sorry, on our fan, which is the blue wire. Okay, and then 4 on the other. We have the yellow, orange, and black. Okay, we're gonna rip all those off and hook up the Titan Pro. Yep, I know it's made in China, but this is all I have left. And as we prepared to move on to our new facility, I'm trying to get rid of old inventory, and I'm giving them away basically at a substantial loss. Just want to get rid of this, but I wrote the date on it with a Sharpie and the size, and we're going to install this.
All right, now that my new dual capacitor is installed,
I just want to do a quick test on the one I removed, and I scraped a little bit of the rust right there. So I'm going to connect one terminal to Herm, one terminal to Common. All right. So I'm reading 45.3. Keep in mind, this is a 50/5 dual capacitor. Let's now check our fan side. Doing the same thing with the fan side, and I'm trying to scrape a little bit. I'm not getting anything out of the fan side. And listen, guys, let me move out away from the fan. You hear that? She failed the shake test. You got that liquid inside there, and she's not swollen, but to the ordinary eye, she looks perfectly fine. But she's no bueno. Adios. All right, next I'm going to set my clamp-on multimeter to read amperage. I'm going to lock it into the max for amps, and let's hook it up to our wiring here, right there. And see, we're at 0. Let's turn this breaker switch on. Okay, and then we're gonna go to the garage and turn the power on. The reason why I'm doing that is because I only have one set of eyes. I can only be at one place at one time. And I don't know. That's the way I want to do it right now. Okay. All right, so if this worked, we're gonna have some action. Let's see. Well, now we need to turn on the fan. We need to turn on the thermostat. We don't have a call for cooling. There we go, baby. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right. Our max was 56.6. Let's set that back. We're running at 14.6 amps on L1. 14.9 on L2. Let's test these going up to the fan motor. 0.6. Come on, baby. 0.7. And 0.8. Coil probably a little bit dirty. We'll probably remind them to schedule some maintenance as a regular service call, not on a Sunday. Feels like a Sunday. On a Monday, a federal holiday in honor of Labor Day. So our system is up and running. We're discharging hot air. Let me tell you about what I did here real fast. I realized that my knockouts for this were all on the bottom, and the side panel, like, oh, okay, no problem, I'll make a knockout on the side panel, but no, because this panel comes off. So kind of like in a dilemma and a pickle. So I cut back the disconnect chassis case for the old one. I cut that back with the grinder, and I made that kind of like flush with the stucco. See how it's flush? You know, that one's more deeper. I made that flush with the stucco, and then I created a knockout on the back and wiggled the wiring in on a 90 right there. It's coming to the back, and I did my bottom right there for my whip. And so now, listen, it's not pretty, but we're behind a whole bunch of these these green giants, arborvitaes. So listen, it is what it is. And what's really nice about this is that just like that, I can turn it off. Very nice. So let's put the electrical compartment cover back on and clean up and get up out of here. Wow, that's impressive. Job's done. And yes, there's the capacitor. Job's done. Let me check out. All right, so we are done, ladies and gentlemen. It is 10:35. Yep. Let's make a complete stop at the stop sign while we look in the rear view mirror. Side view mirror, sorry. All right, so we are heading down Channel. Actually, this is Harbor Drive, and then we're going into Channel Drive right here. Nice view. You got JFK Airport right there. That's where the planes are landing. This is the village of Hewlett Harbor. It's part of the 5 towns in Nassau County. on Long Island. And you know it's coming in the great state of New York. And yes, I say that with sincere sarcasm. There's nothing great about New York. The only thing great about New York is crime. Crime is at all-time high. Taxes are at an all-time high. You know, as we drive down Channel Drive here in Hewlett Harbor, you know, we are passing homes with property taxes that most people make in a year, or take several years for them to earn the property earn enough money to pay just the property taxes here. Like this little Taj Mahal here. This one is excess of 6 figures. And don't worry, we have one coming up that was on the market for $30 million. I don't think it's sold, but there's it's like a mini Versailles. Versailles is in the suburbs of Paris. It is literally a castle, and in a second you're going to see Versailles here. That's one Versailles. This is the mini Versailles right here. See? And here comes Versailles with the nice, yeah, see? That's what I'm talking about. You want to pay $200,000 a year in property taxes, well, you can get yourself a Versailles, and here's another one that they're building. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But guys, thank you so much for this amazing community. You guys are the best. I really, I just feel so humbled to have such an amazing community. Many people reached out to me over the last 2 weeks, like, Mikey Pipes, are you okay? People were calling the office, texting, emailing me, like, hey, you normally post every day. And not for nothing, if you're a loyal listener, I gave you ample warning. I gave you ample warning that I was on vacation for 2 weeks. You know, going over Sicily and then Rome. And in case you're still listening right now to me rant and rave, the end of September, beginning of October, the wife and I are taking 10 days off, and we're going to Spain. Yep. So it's going to be fun. See, I made another complete stop, and just trying to, follow those optional red octological, those red shapes that represent what the hell is going on over there. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope all you guys enjoy the rest of the Labor Day weekend. Hopefully, if you're on call, you don't have to go out that much. But if you do go out on call, remember to be safe out there, wear your PPE, and make sure you squirrel away some extra money, because you know what? I have this saying that we live in the past. That's right, we live in the past. What I just said is gone forever. It's in the past. Last 2 weeks are in the past. I was on vacation. It's gone. The disconnect that melted, it's gone because it's in the past. Time flies, ladies and gentlemen. Time flies. So thank you. Smash that thumbs up button and subscribe and hit that notification bell to get post notifications when I drop a video, which normally is 6 days a week. Thank you guys. Until next time, be well, God bless, stay safe.
If you're not calling Mikey Pipes, you're getting screwed.
There you go.